Hello and welcome. My name is Benjamin. In today's video, I would like to talk about praying for someone else. So the title of this video is how to pray for your loved ones. The thing is, everyone prays, whether we admit it or not. We pray almost every seconds of the day. All your self-talk is prayer. All your negative thought is they are all prayers. All your chatting to yourself, which is still self-talk, they are all prayers, and those prayers are answered if it follows the rules of praying. So we are always praying. When we meditate, we are praying. When we go to church, we are praying. When we are singing gospel songs, we are praying. And sometimes when we're even singing ordinary songs, we are also praying. So like they said, those prayers are answered. So when they are answered, people claim ignorance about what they did to deserve this thing that happened to them without knowing. They pray for it. They prayed for it with their negative thoughts. They prayed for it with their self-talk. They prayed for it with the songs they were singing to. We are always praying whether we like it or not. But in this video, I want to talk about how you can consciously pray for your loved ones. So, as I have said, we are always praying, and not all prayers are successful. But if you meet the component of a successful prayer, then the prayer will be answered, because all prayers are answered. It's not a prayer if it doesn't meet the requirement of what it means for something to be a prayer. Prayer has three basic components that you must have for it to be regarded as a prayer. And once those components are ticked off, then you have a prayer, and that prayer will be answered. So the point number one of this video is the three components of all successful prayers. The three components of all successful prayers. The number one component is presence. You must be present in when you are praying. You cannot be praying and your mind will be somewhere in the supermarket, somewhere at the gym, or thinking about what somebody said last week, or somewhere fighting in your imagination. You cannot be praying and doing all that. If your mind is wandering helter-skelter, you are not praying. You have to stop, take a deep breath, breathe in, hold your breath, then breathe out. Do that until you feel like you are centered, you are calm, your spirit and your spirit, soul, and body are all aligned in the same place. So after you are present, then you can say, okay, you are now in a position to do the next thing, which is the visualization. Number two component of all successful prayers is visualize. You must visualize what you are trying to pray for. And since in this video we are talking about how to successfully pray for your loved ones, you must have an image in your mind of what success looks like. What would it look like when the person you are praying for achieve what you are praying about? Let's say you are praying for someone to buy a house. What would that already look like when they have the house? Or if you are praying for someone to conceive and have a child, what would that look like? If you are praying for someone that is sick to be healthy, what would that look like? You must have a clear image of what it will look like when your prayer is answered. So number two component is visualization. While you are praying for the person, you must see them in your imagination as having what you are praying about. If you are praying for them to get an admission to university, in your prayer for them, you must see them registering, being offered an admission, and them registering and going to that university. So visualization is number two component of all successful prayer. You must visualize. You must see them in your imagination. While you are praying, you must see them in your imagination achieving what you are praying about. Number three is the most important, according to all spiritualists, all theologians, or every Christian. every spiritualist and people in the New Thought movement, everyone accept this fact that belief is the most important component of all successful prayers. Like in the book of Mark chapter 11 verse 24, and I read, it says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." So I repeat it again. Say, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." That's the New International Version. That's Mark 11:24. So in that scriptural verse, it's saying that whatever you pray for, it doesn't matter if it's a house, a car, a degree, health, wealth, promotion, whatever you pray for, you must believe that you have received it. This is not about having faith. Faith leaves room for doubt. You must know that you have received it. You must know that you have received this thing you have prayed for. You must believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Until you get to that point that you know that you have received it, even though it is not physically in your environment right now, until you get to that point, then you have not prayed. You must believe that you have received it. That is the number 3 component of all successful prayer. So I hope this number 1, which is the like most important, this point 1 is the most important part of this video. That means the 3 components of all successful prayers. I repeat, the first one is presence. You must not engage in mind wandering from supermarket to gym, from north to south, from east to west. Your mind wandering all over the place. You must not engage in that. You must be present in your spirit, soul, and body, and focus on what you're praying about. Number 2 is you must visualize. You must have a clear image of what a success, what it will look like when your prayer is answered. What would it look like when that person you are praying for to conceive? What would it look like once they have a child? What would it look like if their child you are praying for that is sick, that you are praying for? What would it look like when they are healthy? Maybe they'll be coming to you and be disturbing you. Then you have to visualize that. Seeing them disturbing you, saying, "Mommy, give me this, mommy, give me that." That is visualization. You must see them at the phase of your prayer answered. Now, number 3 part, the third part of all successful prayer is belief. You must believe that you have received. Once you pray, you must believe that it is done. That is it. So that leads us to the next point of this video, which is the golden rule of all prayer. The golden rule of praying for someone else. The golden rule of praying for someone else. You know, there is this issue, especially for people from third world countries. It's common in Europe and America, North America too, but mostly people from third world countries, their parents are always praying for something different from what the child wants. Let's say the child wants to become a musician, but the mother is going to church every week, every Sunday, or even twice a week to pray for the son to become a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer, even though the child has made it clear that he or she wants to become a musician. So you can't do that when you're praying for someone. You cannot pray for something that is not aligned with what the person desires. The golden rule of praying for someone else is that your prayer must be aligned with what that person wants. If that person wants to buy a car, you cannot be praying for them to buy a bicycle. That is not aligned for what they want. If that person wants to become a doctor, you cannot be praying for them to become a lawyer. That is not aligned with what they want. You cannot impose what your ideas and your desires upon someone through prayer. That prayer will not be answered because this is not in line with the laws of the universe. The golden rule of praying for someone else, doesn't matter if it's your daughter, your son, your husband, your wife, your auntie, your mother, your father. The golden rule is that your prayer must be aligned with what they want, which means you must find out what they want. What do they want? Do they want a car? Do they want to become a lawyer? Do they want to marry? Do they want to be single? Do they want to travel? Whatever, you have to find out what they want. And if you are praying for them, your prayer must be in line with what they want. You cannot pray for something else that they do not want. Their spirit will reject it. And that means you are just wasting your own time. So this is the end of this video. I hope you get one or two important, useful information from it, which is how to pray for someone you care about, your loved ones. If you like this kind of video, I really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, or leave a comment. If nothing else, take care of yourself, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye for now.